Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So Devin Haney outpoints Jojo Diaz en route to retaining his WBC lightweight title by a unanimous decision. To be fair, this fight was a lot more entertaining than I expected going in. I kind of expected a routine points win for Devin Haney where not too much would happen, he would win comfortably and whatnot. And while, he won relatively comfortably on points, Jojo Diaz definitely gave Devin Haney some problems in this fight. Now, I felt Devin Haney started this fight really well. In round one, at the start of a round, both guys were kind of vying for lead hand control, Devin Haney being the orthodox, Jojo Diaz being the southpaw. Both guys were pouring their lead hand to start the round. Devin Haney soon got his lead foot on the outside of Jojo Diaz's, and he then started picking some really nice jabs and some good straight punches. To Jojo Diaz's credit, he displayed a pretty good high guard in this fight. So Diaz was actually catching quite a lot of straight punches on the gloves, but Devin Haney would go downstairs in the early rounds with a straight right hand to the body, and I felt in the first 3 rounds, Devin Haney was boxing really well behind that jab, maintaining range, keeping Jojo Diaz at arm's length, and he was picking some really good single counter punches, some good variety as well on Devin Haney's game in the first sort of 3 rounds. Jojo, he landed some clubbing shots here and there, landed a couple of body shots here and there, but Devin Haney was much more, I felt he was much more successful in the first 3 rounds in comparison to Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz, though, in the 4th round, he picked it up. He managed to close the distance, and he landed a couple of really good left-hand body shots on Devin Haney. And I think Devin Haney felt those body shots. I'm not saying he was super hurt or anything, but I think he felt those shots from Jojo Diaz. Diaz found a couple of good left hands to the body. He came upstairs with his overhand left, which connected on Devin Haney's chin. Jojo Diaz fought a good round in the 4th round, and he definitely won that round. After the 4th round, Devin Haney kind of regained control in rounds 5 and 6. He was actually trading with Diaz a little more, and he was landing some really effective counter punches. Showed some good punch variety in rounds 5 and 6. Haney was kind of going to the body, going to the head, and that's one thing Haney did well in this fight was the body work. I felt he picked some really good body shots in this fight. And Haney regained control in rounds 5 and 6, no doubt about it. Just outboxing Jojo Diaz. Diaz would have moments of success here and there. Sometimes in the exchanges he would catch Devin Haney with his overhand left, and he would land some good body shots as well. But rounds 5 and 6, I felt Haney outboxed Jojo Diaz. Round 7 was another good round for Jojo Diaz, though. Similar to the 4th round, Diaz once again landed some really good body shots, and this time he landed some really good left hands to the head, and also I believe a right hook in round 7 to the head. And once again, Devin Haney felt those shots. He wasn't hurt, he wasn't super buzzed, but you could tell that they made Haney reset, they made Haney, get out of dodge, so to speak. So round 7, Diaz applied a lot more pressure, so to speak. But in round 8, once again, kind of like round 4, the next round, in round 8, Jojo Diaz doesn't build on what he did in the previous round. His punch output drops again. He starts following Devin Haney around the ring without necessarily going gung-ho or letting his hands go. And that just gave Devin Haney the opportunity to box behind that jab and pick Jojo Diaz off coming in. With the straight right hand, the right uppercut as well. Got some good body shots away also. And round 8, Haney rebounded. I actually felt the championship rounds in this fight were quite competitive. For example, I felt round 9 was a pretty close round. It could have gone either way. Both guys were exchanging in the 9th round. And I think this once again shows that when Devin Haney exchanges with people, he can be hit. And he is vulnerable, in my opinion. We saw that against Linares, for example. And both guys were exchanging in round 9. Close round, could have gone either way. And I felt rounds 10 and 11 were relatively close, to be honest. Haney was landing the more eye-catching shots, but Diaz, he was landing some good clubbing body shots, a couple of punches in the exchanges. He was competitive in the championship rounds in this fight, Jojo Diaz, and I think you could have scored a couple of those rounds to Diaz, if I'm being honest. And round 12, I felt Jojo Diaz kind of clearly won the round. He started really strongly, came out like a bull in the china shop for a lot of punches, and Haney obliged to exchange with Jojo Diaz, and that resulted in Haney getting caught with the overhand left. When Haney exchanges, he does square up, and Jojo was able to time him with his overhand left, and he looked somewhat hurt in round 12. Devin Haney, when he got caught by a couple of overhand lefts. Nothing crazy, and he soon got over it, but he looked a little buzzed in round 12 from a couple of left hands that Jojo Diaz landed, and I think that's worrying going forwards because, number one, Jojo Diaz is not a noted puncher, and quite frankly, Jojo Diaz is not a lightweight. I said before this fight, Jojo he's an ill-disciplined super featherweight, and he was managing to get to Devin Haney in round 12. But to Devin Haney's credit, he actually finished round 12 really well, kind of regained control, started to push Jojo Diaz back, and he landed a couple of good shots towards the end of the round, but it wasn't enough to win him round 12. Ultimately, Devin Haney, in my opinion, did win this fight, but at the same time, I will say, I felt that Jojo Diaz was doing a bit better than the commentary team were making out. He was landing some good body shots in there, landing some good shots in the exchanges. He had some moments in there, and he definitely won some rounds, in my opinion. He gave Devin Haney a pretty hard fight, a little bit harder than I was expecting, to be honest. So credit to Jojo Diaz for that. But Devin Haney retains his WBC lightweight title. To me, when it comes to grading this performance from Devin Haney, to me this fight showed his strengths and his weaknesses, to be honest. He's a quick dude, nice reaction time. He can pick some really nice snappy counters. One thing I will say, his accuracy in this fight was very good for the most part, and he showed some really good punch variety, and he showed some good punch placement. Devin Haney is I do think Haney's a really talented boxer. Technically, he does a lot right, in my opinion. But on the flip side, at times in there, and we saw this with Linares, at times it looks like Devin Haney sometimes gets a bit too comfortable, and his concentration kind of goes. And in those moments, he exchanges, he gets caught, and he can get hurt, as we've seen against Linares, and even to a lesser extent against Diaz. So I think Haney needs to work on his concentration, and maintain the game plan without, getting bored or getting too comfortable. But I guess that'll come with experience. In regards to Devin Haney's chin, I have to admit I'm not sold. He definitely got hurt by Linares, no disgrace in that, but he got rocked a couple of times by Jojo Diaz, and again, I have to stress, Jojo is not a noted puncher. He wasn't a noted puncher at featherweight or super featherweight, let alone lightweight, and he's not a lightweight in my opinion. So Devin Haney's chin leaves I think there's a question mark there, but ultimately he does have talent. He can still get a lot better. He's still very young, and we'll see where he goes next. Obviously, we know the fights that we want to see: Kambosos, Lomachenko, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis. These are the sort of fights I want from Devin Haney in his next fight. But we'll see where he goes. Share your thoughts below. What did you make of Devin Haney's performance? I've seen on social media, I've seen a lot of different takes on his performance. Some people are saying it was a masterclass. I didn't see that. He showed moments of real quality, real boxing acumen, and real technical class, but he showed vulnerability in there as well. So share your thoughts below. What did you make of it? Peace.